What's up, TikTok? So I usually don't do these type of things, or I don't usually put a lot of people in my business, but I feel like this is something that y'all need to hear. So 2021, I had met this boy, and y'all know him by day, my ex. And me and him, like, we've been on and off. Like, we would talk and then we would ghost each other, and then we would come back around and talk again, then we would ghost each other, right? So it never really got serious up until this point. So a situation had happened with me in Houston, and he just so happened to be in Houston. And so I ended up calling him, and he ended up coming to get me, and we ended up driving back to Dallas. It was me, him, his homeboy, and Ida. So mind you, I haven't talked to this boy in forever, but it was just the fact for me that he still picked up the phone, he still answered, and he still like cared about what I had going on, and he took me out the situation that I was in. So, I respected that. So I ended up driving back because I guess when they was in Houston, they didn't really get no sleep for real. They was outside, so I volunteered to drive, so I ended up driving back. So mind you, me and him, like, we had chemistry, but we haven't talked in a long time. So as I'm driving, he's like easing his hand on my lap and stuff. He rubbing on my thigh and all that. So we end up getting to his crib, and it just so happens me and him end up laying together. That one laying together ended up being days of us laying together. So at this time, me and Ida, we was about to leave to go to ATL. He had already left for work, but our ticket didn't leave till the next day. So he said it was cool that we stayed at his crib and leave the next day. So after me and her had left, it was like me and him was texting ongoing. We was on FaceTime. Like, it wasn't no on and off. Like, this was something that was continuous. So at this time, he had this job, and he was working at the oil field. So he only got a week off out of every month. So every time he would get that week off, he would fly me back to Texas so I could see him for his week off before he goes back to work. So this thing started to become like an ongoing thing. Like, every time he get a break from work, I'm coming out here. So it got to the point where I was coming out here like 24/7. Back at home, y'all know I stayed in Virginia, and back at home, honestly, it was no good for me. Like, it was toxic. I was always in something at home, and I kind of wanted a better environment. So we came up with, I got my own crib, like, come to Dallas and start a new life and start over. So at the time, I was at my lowest. Like, I literally lost. Okay, hold on. I was really at my lowest at this time, and around this time, my mom, she had also ended up losing her place because her building caught on fire. So she ended up having to get another spot. So it was really a lot going on at this time, and I was looking at this as an scapegoat to better myself and be a better person. So I ended up taking a chance. I said, what could really go wrong? It's either going to be a blessing or it's going to be a lesson. I've always had plans on moving to Texas anyway, so I'm like, this is a great opportunity. So he ended up flying down to Virginia to help me drive to Texas because I have a dog and I had some of my stuff. So we ended up getting a rental, and we ended up driving 17 hours, but it really felt like it took a day because this was around the time where it was snowing really bad, and the states that we had to pass, like, we couldn't even, we ended up having to get a hotel because it was snowing too bad, and the car started hydroplaning and all that. So fast forward to me actually staying in Texas. I'm thinking this the best move ever. Like, I'm starting my life over, I'm getting my life back together. And so I thought everything was going good up until I found out that, he had cheated on me. And how I found out was because I ended up having a problem with a girl the whole time. My reason for me having a problem with her wasn't valid because it was him on his end. And if y'all don't believe me, the post is on Missy Maj. It happened in November of 2023. Y'all could go look and see the post for yourself. So after that particular moment, that's when our relationship really started going downhill. We started arguing a lot. We started fussing, fighting. all of that. Like, it really started to become a toxic environment for me. And you know, sometimes when we used to get into it, like, he would tell me I had to pack all my stuff up and figure out where I'm gonna go and all this stuff. Mind you, I moved 17 hours from home. I left all my friends, my family, everybody that cared about me back at home. Before me and him had left Virginia, he promised my mom, he said, your daughter is in good hands and I wouldn't do nothing to, you know, put her in harm's way, jeopardize this or nothing. So I thought. So, you know, our relationship started getting like really toxic. People cheating on my end and his end, because I just felt like, you know, you did all of this stuff. You asked me to be your girlfriend. Like, you literally did something that nobody has ever done for me. He put roses down on the he put roses down on the floor. He decorated the bed. Like, nobody ever did that for me. So I felt played. And so, yes, I was on some get back stuff. And, you know, I own up to that. Like, that cheating is not good at all. But I've been done dirty in most relationships that I've been in. So it was kind of like really the last straw for me. And honestly, the reason why I didn't leave was because I moved all the way out here. And, you know, I don't know nobody. I don't have nobody out here for real. So I couldn't just up and leave. My family is 17 hours away. I tolerated the stuff that we was going through because I couldn't just up and leave like that. So now I'm gonna just fast forward to right now. As y'all can see, I'm in a hotel. He basically told me that he's done being nice and I had to go. And honestly, like, I was on the phone with some of my people yesterday and I already was planning on leaving, but I wasn't planning on leaving this soon. Like, you know, to get approved for a permit, like, you gotta wait for the process and all that. That's what I was waiting on. Mind you, we've been broken up, and we came to the agreement that he told me, and I could show y'all the messages. He told me, he said, you know what? He said, I'm gonna let you stay at the apartment. I'm still gonna help you pay rent, but I'm moving into the compact house. He told me that he's coming to get all his stuff. He didn't really say what day that was, and he was gonna end up just moving all his stuff into the house, and I was just gonna be at the apartment up until today. So basically, he did a YouTube story time about me or whatever, and I basically told him, I said, when I tell my side, everybody's gonna look at you weird. Everybody's gonna look at you different. I have receipts, I have screenshots, I have everything. He didn't like that I said that, so he had texted me and just basically was like, you know, I'm not being nice to you no more. You gotta go. Mind y'all, I don't know nobody out here for real. I really don't have nowhere to go until I get my new place. And it's like, I feel like it's like, you know, my dog, that's my heart. So I'm not finna give him away. Like, I feel like if I give my dog away, like, I'm gonna lose myself. He literally been with me through everything I've ever been through. And it's really the fact that he knows all of this stuff and he's still choosing to do me this way. So now I'm just in a hotel trying to figure out my next move, and I have to figure out it quick because I don't have a lot of time to think or nothing like that, because all this is gonna do is run up. This is gonna take all my money, and then I'm not gonna have enough money to actually move into the apartment that I was planning on getting. So y'all, this is like, I don't know, I've never been through this situation, but all I can say for y'all, believe what a nigga do to you the first time. Don't move in with no nigga. Make sure you got a plan B. Make sure you got a backup plan so that you're not in my situation. I didn't get on here for y'all to have no sympathy for me. At the end of the day, I'm my mom's child. I can handle whatever is coming my way. I'm gonna get out this situation, and it's just gonna be that. Like, I support who support me. I fuck with who fuck with me. But this is my story. How I got brought to Dallas just to be stranded.